On March 11, 1918, the H1N1 influenza pandemic's first case is documented. But if it didn't start in Spain, then why is it called the Spanish flu? And how many were killed by the outbreak of the disease? On that fateful March day, a U.S. Army private reported to the camp hospital at Fort Riley, Kansas, before breakfast. He complained of a fever, a sore throat, and a headache. 1 minute later, another soldier showed up. By noon, there were over 100 cases. A week later, 500. That spring, 48 soldiers died of the flu at Fort Riley. The world was in the throes of World War I. Over 1 million Americans crossed the Atlantic for the war. Naturally, some of those doughboys came from Kansas, kickstarting a worldwide pandemic. Although H1N1 influenza was informally known as the Spanish flu, the disease almost certainly did not begin in Spain. But because Spain was neutral in World War I, its media covered the pandemic in depth, publishing detailed accounts of its effects, including Spanish King Alfonso XIII's battle with the disease, from which he recovered. The nations at war censored influenza news to try to keep up morale and avoid giving strategic aid to the enemy. Therefore, people in the warring nations mainly got their comprehensive news on the pandemic from Spanish media sources, and naturally assumed Spain was the pandemic's ground zero. Thus, the erroneous nickname Spanish flu was born. Ironically, the Spanish called the disease the French flu, believing it had spread to them from France. And actually, it probably had. Cases stretched as far as the remote reaches of Greenland and the Pacific Islands. About 1/3 of the world's population was infected, and around 10% of those infected died. Unlike other types of influenza, which are most dangerous for the old and the frail, this strain was as likely to kill a 20-year-old as an 80-year-old. US President Donald Trump's grandfather, Friedrich Trump, died from the flu in New York City in 1918 at age 49. An estimated 675,000 Americans died from the pandemic. The worldwide death toll was 50 million. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1779, during the American Revolution, Congress establishes the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. In 1936, during the Great Depression, Dorothea Lange publishes her famous migrant mother photo. In 1972, Carnival's first ship embarks on its first sailing but runs aground while leaving the port. In 1989, the documentary-style reality television series Cops debuts on Fox. In 2004, 193 are killed when Al-Qaeda bombs explode on trains in Madrid, Spain. In 2011, the largest earthquake in Japan's recorded history causes devastation and a nuclear disaster. In 2020, the NBA suspends its season following Utah Jazz star Rudy Gobert's positive COVID test. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. As the Cold War began, events in which two countries prompted U.S. President Harry Truman to establish the Truman Doctrine? Poland and Ukraine? Greece and Turkey? Portugal and Spain? Or Finland and Sweden? Liked learning about the Spanish flu? Then you'll love this one about another deadly disease that impacted the 20th century: polio. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.